Hello, and welcome to Cheers. That's one woman's opinion. I'm your host, Carolyn Mills. Today we are looking at Cheers, Season 3, Episode 13, Whodunit. This episode first aired January 3rd, 1985. It was directed by James Burrows and written by Tom Reeder. Guest class include Guest cast includes James Karen as Dr. Ludlow, and he passed away in 2018 from cardiovascular disease. Ernie Sabella as Stan, and Kelsey Grammer as Dr. Fraser Crane. Cheers is filmed in front of a live studio audience, was said by John Ratzenberger. So let's go ahead and jump into our summary. In our cold open, Coach guesses someone's age with three simple questions. What year were you born? How much do you weigh? And what do you do for a living? Coach says I'll have an answer for him after dinner. He explains, I didn't realize I have to carry a number. Great bit here where the first question is what year were you born, and he still can't give the answer. Where everybody knows your name plays. Norm comes in and Sam says he seems glum. Norm explains that he got chewed out by his boss. His boss said he was enthusiastic, and Cliff asks if it's true. Norm responds half-heartedly, I don't know, I guess. Who cares? Diane and Fraser come in with Fraser's mentor, Dr. Bennett Ludlow. Fraser keeps apologizing to Ludlow, and Dr. Ludlow tells him that they are peers now. Fraser and Diane go to the bar to get drinks. Away from Ludlow, they discuss the fact that Dr. Ludlow has a crumb on his tie. Oh, the horror. Sam tells them just to tell him. But Fraser says you cannot just tell a man of Dr. Ludlow's status that he has a crumb on his tie. Norm suggests they pretend to admire his tie, then lean close to it and nibble off the morsel. Meanwhile, Carla goes up and takes the crumb off the tie, and she calls him Pigpen. Fraser and Diane return to the table. Fraser goes to tell him, but the crumb is now gone. Dr. Ludlow excuses himself and goes talk to Carla. He asks for her name to find it in the phone book and then asks, or should I just look under Hot Babe? Carla gives him her name and says she is starting to like him. He is a kind of likable guy. It's funny later she describes him as a stiff that's fun. Dr. Ludlow goes to the payphone to make a call. Cliff and Norm walk over to the phone. Cliff tells Norm he has something on his tie. Norm thanks him and says if more people were like Cliff, they could wipe out social embarrassment. Dr. Ludlow's clueless they were talking about him. Norm tells Cliff, okay, you start a fire for distraction and I'll hose him down. I love the lengths they're going to tell this guy he has something on his tie, which Carl already removed, of course, but it's too funny. Carla, okay, sorry, I just typed something. Carla comes in and Sam tells her she got flowers. Sam says they are all curious about who her secret admirer is. Carla tells him, none of your damn business. Coach asks what she said, and Sam repeats, none of your damn business. Coach is offended, not realizing that that is actually the words Carla used. Fraser comes in and tells Diane that Dr. Ludlow canceled again. Fraser says this has been happening every night for the last 2 months. Then they argue over whose fault it is. Carla asks Diane to switch with her because she needs the night off. Diane agrees, noting, every time you need to trade nights, my plans get canceled. Sam says there are two mysteries. One, Carla has been seeing a classy guy. Two, Dr. Ludlow has been avoiding Diane and Fraser like the plague. He points out that the second is the lesser of the two mysteries. Fraser says he cannot imagine his mentor dating a common barmaid. Sam points out that Diane is a common barmaid, but Fraser explains she wasn't when they met. And Sam responds, that's right, she was a lunatic. Cliff is telling Coach, Sam, and Norm that one day the pinky, like the tail, will one day disappear from humans, that is. Coach says you need a pinky for swimming, and then demonstrates why. And I have to do this with my headphones off. He demonstrates why because you do this if you're watching on YouTube. If you're not watching on YouTube, you stick your finger in your pinky and pull out the water and stuff. Sam returns to the other side to speak with Diane. She says that Fraser is in a fragile state of mind, and Sam's theory is asinine. I remember when I was a little kid, well, not little, little, but fifth grade actually. The choir teacher that I had, her name is Mrs. Clackey. She told us in class one day that we were all acting asinine. We thought she was swearing at us. And it's funny because it's actually spelled ASI, not ASS. But we didn't know. We just heard the word ass and thought, oh my gosh, our teacher's calling us a bad word. And she was like, it's not a bad word. And she got all upset then because we were upset that she was calling us a bad word. Um, but that was the first time I ever heard the word asinine. So where were we? Oh, Diane tells him to imagine Bennett Ludlow and Carla together. She sees Ludlow and Carla and adds, you don't have to imagine it. There it is. And then she screams. Fraser asks what's going on. He sees Ludlow and Carla together and he screams. After the commercial break, Carla explains Benny looks like a stiff, but he's really out for a good time. Dr. Ludlow said he was attracted to Carla since they first met. Carl explains they chose to keep it a secret because they come from different classes, but now the cat's out of the bag. Fraser finds this hard to accept. It's kind of amusing to me that, which Sam points out about Diane also being a barmaid. So it's funny to me that he can't accept his mentor dating a barmaid when he himself is dating a barmaid, and he thinks how good he is. You know, he's very pompous. Fraser is, both on Cheers and on his own show. Very pompous man, but yeah, he has a problem with this other man. It's interesting. Very illogical. Carla tells Diane they will see each other at parties, adding, you with your boyfriend and me with my boyfriend, his mentor. Kind of funny how she taunts Diane. Fraser tells Dr. Ludlow that now he's had a walk on the wild side, he can return to people that are better suited for him. Dr. Ludlow explains he's going on a brief trip out of town, and when he returns, he plans to propose to Carla. Fraser's not thrilled. Fraser kind of needs to get a life. He's a little obsessive about this other person's dating habits. I think he should probably focus more on his own. Maybe if he did, he would realize he's not going to end up with her. But I won't give that away. Just kidding. I'm sure most people know what happens on Cheers. Okay, found my place. More time passes after another commercial break. Dr. Ludlow is wondering where Carla is. It's interesting. Sometimes I can tell where the commercials are. Back in the day, I used to tape it off TV and pause to get the commercials out. So I could tell by where it paused. But they kind of do the same thing even on the pre-tape ones that you buy and whatnot. Sometimes you can tell right where that commercial is, usually because you get the music when they come back on. Sometimes it's almost like there's never been a commercial. Interesting. So Dr. Ludlow's wondering where Carla is. Sam says she's rarely late, and asks Coach if she called. Coach confirms she did. Sam asks what she said, and Coach responds, none of your damn business. Sam says he's explained multiple times about that to Coach. Diane tells Dr. Ludlow they are happy Carla is getting her first break in life. Carla comes in and asks what's going on. Sam says Dr. Ludlow wants to talk to her. Betty and Carla sit at a table. He tells Carla he wants to marry her. She responds, wow, what a day. He asks if she will, and she responds, I guess I'd be crazy not to. The gang congratulate Dr. Ludlow as Carla slips into the pool room. Diane follows her. Does Diane ever work? She's always following people to the office and to the pool room. Then again, nobody in this show works. I'm not quite sure how they stay in business because people just do what they want. And occasionally the guests are themselves. Carla explains that she hasn't told Bennett that she has children. Diane says to tell him about the five children, and Carla corrects her, six. Diane says she thought Carla had five, but Carla explains she just came from the doctor's office. She says she is the most fertile woman in the world. Diane asks her, when you were in health class, did you skip the how not to lecture? And Carla says, I had to, I was pregnant. Benny comes back to see if Carla is okay. Diane leaves the two alone to talk. He points out that Carla never actually said yes to the proposal. Carla says she needs to talk to him. She informs him she has kids, 5 and counting. He does not understand about the and counting part, so she informs him that he is going to be a father. He still wants to marry her. Carla says, "Wow, what class." But he points out she still has not said yes to the proposal. She wonders why that is, and he tells her if she looks into her feelings, she will know. Carl explains she's in love with another man, whom she has never met and doesn't even know his name. One day he will walk in with his nose broken in all the right places. She says he cracks his knuckles all the time, drives me up a wall, but what can you do? She continues to explain that they will get married and it would be messy if she was already married to Benny. Dr. Ludlow says he has the perfect woman in mind. Carl asks about her, and he says she's a spunky, hardy, curly haired Spitfire who doesn't know what's good for her. Carla says she hopes he finds her, and he says so do I, and leaves. Carla comes from the back. She announces she's not getting married and now is pregnant with her sixth child. She tells them she doesn't want their charity or pity. She just wants to be left alone. So they leave her alone. She asks, "What are you people, made of stone?" And they all go over and hug and comfort her. The fact that she says, "Are you made of stone?" I mean, she flat out says, "I don't want your pity. I don't want your charity. Just leave me alone." And then they do it. And then she's like, "Are you made of stone?" They wanted to help, but it kind of makes for a funny line, so that works. So, in our discussion, I gave this episode 4 out of 5 beer nuts. The episode was good from Fraser's reaction to Dr. Ludlow, his mentor, dating Carla, to Carla not wanting to marry him and announcing she's pregnant again with her sixth child. Once again, a more humane Carla, even though Dr. Ludlow declares she is a Spitfire. I gave the MVP to Rhea Perlman, and I also gave Best Dressed to Carla Tortelli. I really like this shirt she's got on. Probably because purple is my favorite color. Our Grand Slam line. After Dr. Bennett and Carla have the conversation, she says she doesn't want to get married. And he's about to leave. He turns and says, "By the way, I intend to take care of that child financially." Carla responds, "You bet your buns you are, Benny baby." Love the alliteration in that line. Big fan of alliteration. Our on base line, again, when Carla and Dr. Ludlow are in the back and she has to tell him that she's pregnant. Carla says, "Have you ever seen the Brady Bunch?" "Yes, I believe I have." "Picture them with knives." Here's a little known fact. Carla got pregnant again because Rhea Perlman and her husband, Danny DeVito, were expecting their third child. However, at the same time, Shelley Long was also pregnant, but they opted not to make Diane Chambers pregnant. And for those of you who are saying right now that Danny DeVito is not her husband anymore, because I said her husband, not then husband or ex-husband. One day they were married then, so that would have been her husband. But also, they are still married. They are legally separated, but they are also legally married, and they have no plans to get divorced. They're actually very good friends. And what was I going to say about Shelley Long being pregnant? Oh, so Rhea's pregnant and Shelley's pregnant. We know from interviews and things, Rhea Perlman and most of the cast of Cheers, if not all, were not overly fond of Shelley Long at that time. And now you got two pregnant women who don't particularly like each other. I can't imagine what it had to be like. What's it on set? I was going to say backstage. That's theater. What that must have been like on the set. Um, yeah, that's got to be hard. If you like this episode, please like, subscribe, follow, click all the buttons you can find. And you can join our Facebook group, Cheers, that's one woman's opinion. Oh, I forgot. I gotta turn off the background and I gotta turn off the light in the back. So this is again where we talk randomly. And as I'm doing this, I want to remind you all that in a few weeks, or whatever the 24th is, next week, week after, I will be interviewing Frank Carlson from Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman. He played Horace Bing on there, so hopefully we'll be able to check that out. Um, Still working on getting regular Cheers people, but I just like to talk to people. It's fun. So now that I got the lights off and you can see, you can join the Facebook group at Cheers. That's one woman's opinion. And you can follow us on Instagram, Cheers One Woman's Opinion Podcast. And you can follow us on Twitter X at One Woman Opinion. Again, no S because for some reason it didn't let it go through. And the Reddit group, Cheers Rewatch Podcast. And you can email us at Cheers One Woman's Opinion Podcast at gmail.com with questions, comments, anybody you'd like me to try to get an interview with, Cheers related or not. I just like talk people. So originally, I thought I wanted to do a podcast. This is what happened. When I started this, I was like, I want to do a podcast. Sounds fun. What can I do? What do I know? I know Cheers really well. It's my favorite show. Been watching it since I was 9, as I said. I pretty much know the whole script by heart. So yeah, let's do that. And then I thought the other thought in my mind is I would love to talk to people. I just like to interview. It's fun. I seriously would be a great talk show host. I hope somebody discovers me and gets me a talk show because I that'd be like a dream come true to be a talk show host. It'd be interesting because I can't hear. Um, but I would like to do that. Anyway, at first I thought, okay, Cheers podcast, strictly Cheers, only going to interview people in the cast of Cheers. And then I thought, well, wait a second, there's only like a handful of people, and I may not be able to get them. So far, we're on season 3, and I still haven't gotten any of them. So I extended, okay, guest cast, people who guest starred on Cheers. We'll get those people too. Got a few of those so far. And then I thought, Pod Meets World. It's my favorite podcast that I watch. And they get people from Boy Meets World, but they also get a lot of random, not related in any way, shape, or form to Pod Meets World, including wrestlers. It's not even a TV show. Well, they're on TV, but you know what I mean. Not a sitcom or whatever. So then I said, okay, I'll expand. So I started contacting just anybody I like growing up, now, whatever. And that's how come there's so many non-Cheers related interviews. Because I decided bonus episodes don't have to be related. They can just be fun, and that's what I do. And I'm hoping you guys are enjoying that. I really am. I love interviewing. Really, I absolutely love the interviewing. And I love doing the rewatches because it's my favorite show, so it's great to be able to watch the show and take notes and um so I get the best of both worlds. So I just wanted to share that. Next week, we'll be doing Cheers Season 3, Episode 14. The Heart is a Lonely Snipe Hunter, which is not a favorite of mine. I'll get through it. And that's one woman's opinion. Thank you.